Hello everyone, my name is Oleg and today we are gonna start learning Python. You can ask why Python, why not some other programming languages? The answer is simple. Python is the easiest. It's the easiest to learn, it's the easiest to write, and it's the easiest to read. So basically after learning Python for 2-3 months you can start writing some simple programs and advance your knowledge and write even a bit more complicated programs. So basically what you need to start learning Python, of course you would need to install it. So basically if you are using Windows, you would need to download it and then install it. So for this you would need to go to Python website and download the installer for Windows. I will share the link in the comments section and you can use it and just install it to your PC. If you are using Unix, Linux, it will be pre-installed and there is no need to install it. So basically I have Linux running under VirtualBox, and if you just launch the terminal and type Python, you will see that it's already installed. And I believe both Python 2.7 and Python 3.5 is installed here. So if we run Python 3, we get Python 3.5. That's very convenient, and I prefer using Linux, but basically most of the people use Windows. That's why we will just use Windows for these tutorials. The second step before you start learning is downloading an IDE, which is basically a utility to write your code in. I usually prefer Pycharm, which is very easy to use, and the community edition of this utility is free. So basically you can also download it using this link here for Windows, and I will share it in the description section. And the community edition is free even if you write your code and use it for commercial purposes. So you just click download and install as you would install any other program. So let's say that you have everything ready and installed. You run Pycharm and you have this window. So basically you want to create a new file with the extension py. So for this you will just go ahead and click new and create a new file and save it somewhere in your tutorials folder. So now let's start. So everyone just write hello world as a introductory tutorial to any programming languages. So we'll just do something similar and we'll just output a string to your screen. So basically for this, Python would use a command called print, and you would pass a string as a parameter. You would use inverted commas and write your string in between. So let's say my name is Oleg, and we can run this program by clicking run and run tutorial 1. So by running this you can see the output, and the output is my name is Oleg. So basically Python interpreter went on and interpreted the first line as it needs to output this string to your screen. That's what it did. That's easy. So now let's do something that is a bit more complicated. Let's assign the value of this string to a variable. And what is really a variable? Variable is just a memory cell to store some value. So we want to store the value my name is Oleg, and we will use variable for it. We can name variable anyway, so you can use any name you want except for a few words that are reserved. You can't use those. I will come back to that after creating this variable. So let's create a variable called my name, and we can assign a value to it by typing equal my name is Oleg. So now we can just get rid of the first line, and we will have just a single line with my name equals my name is Oleg. So basically now if we run this program, nothing will happen. So to be able to output the value of this variable to a screen, we will use the same command print, and we will pass a variable as a parameter. We don't want to use reverted commas because it's just the variable that we are passing, not a string itself. So basically if we run this program, run tutorial 1, and we see my name is Oleg is output to a screen. You can assign anything to a variable. It can be a string, it can be a number, it can be a list, it can be a tuple. I will cover those in some later tutorials. So now we can just try assigning just a numeric value. Let's say number 1 equals 888. And we want to output it to the screen the same way as we did with my name. So we would use print, and we will pass number 1 instead of my name. So we will pass this variable name, and we will just run it. So now as you see, Python interpreter went through this line, output my name is Oleg to the screen, then it went on to this line, and it output 888 to your screen. Easy cheesy. So now let's move on. Basically within programming, I already mentioned some reserved words. You can't use those for naming your variables. Among those reserved words are the words like false, class, finally, is, return, none, and there are many more. I won't name them all, but I will make sure to mention all of them in the description section of this video. So let's now break a rule and let's try to use false as a name for our variable instead of my name. So we'll just rename it to false. And false, as I mentioned, is a reserved word, so we can't use it for naming variables. But since we already broke the rule, we'll just try to run it. So let's run it, run tutorial 1, and of course we got the error. So the error says name my name is not defined, and the error is because we used a reserved word for naming the variable. So let's rename it back to my name and run it once again. So now no more error. What you want to know about among basic concepts when programming is how to write comments. So let's say you wrote this program and someone else opened it and he doesn't understand what is written here. So basically you want to write some comments and you don't want Python to try to interpret them as a code. So basically you would use hash, and you can write anything you want after this. So basically let's write that we are declaring a variable my name. And let's write one more comment. Let's say that we are assigning the value of 888 to number 1. So now if someone opens your program, he can see that here you are declaring a variable my name, and you really declare the variable my name, and he can write and he can read all your comments. So basically now if we run the program, nothing has changed because Python just ignored these lines because Python knows that these are comments. That's it for the first tutorial. I hope you liked it. In the next sessions, we will go on and cover a bit more complex concepts. And I think that in 10-15 sessions, you'll be able to write some basic programs, and we can start learning a bit more advanced topics. So thanks for watching it. If you liked the video, like it under it and subscribe to the channel. Have a good day, and if you have any questions, just write comment. Talk to you soon. Bye bye.